to episode 116 of Gracefully and Frankly, with one of us where she always is and the other one in parts unknown. I'm Lisa Brandt.
You say parts unknown like you know my sense of geography, so thank you for that. I'm Erin Davis, and it's so good to be talking to you, but it'll be better next week when I'm at home in my little tiny sauna converted into a studio. Of course, at our age, every room is a sauna, isn't it?
Isn't that the truth? So, where are you exactly?
We are in one of the Saints for the second or third straight night. I've lost track, Lisa. We stopped in Santa Barbara to charge. We stayed in Santa Maria. And last night we were in San Rafael. But tonight, I can't even remember. I'm booking hotel rooms like at night for the next night's stay. And you can't do any of it online because when you have pets, it's not something that one of the travel companies online just covers, right? Otherwise, you get to the front desk and they say, oh, sorry, all our pet rooms are taken. But it's the Great Best Western Tour of 2025 because it's all been Best Westerns. And they've been great.
They've been great to the dogs. They've been great to you. Everything's been good.
Everything has been great. And I just can't rave enough about them, for a budget hotel. And I wish I could understand, Lisa. I'm always thinking, okay, we're near San Francisco. Let's stay someplace really nice. But I can't. There's something in me. I just can't take a $300 hotel room. And then when you add the pet fees, please don't make me start again about the pet fees, but I'm going to. The first place we looked at, it was $109, okay, US. But the dogs were going to be $75 or something each. And I thought, well, I'll be damned if I'm paying more for the dogs than I'm paying for Rob and I to sleep.
Right. Yeah. I understand if they take a deposit in case your dog is a shredder.
Leaving a deposit.
Yeah, exactly. Not just paying outright because you have a dog there. That doesn't make sense to me at all. No, so good. I'm glad you're not giving into that and you're finding a way around it.
Oh, we are. And the dogs have been terrific. They cuddle together in their crate in the car for our long rides and stuff. But oh my gosh, I had such a joyride yesterday. Have you seen the ads for the VW ID Buzz?
No.
Oh, it's their new minivan, and it's got a retro front that looks like the old Vanagon or whatever.
Yes. I thought it was almost the same thing brought back, but it's different?
It is different, and let me tell you how I got to ride in one.
Okay.
So we're in a Walmart parking lot, and there are about 4 people gathered around the charging stations. And, okay, traveling with an EV, you had a whole new set of concerns, but we pull up and there's all these people standing there and we go, oh no. And then we go around and we see another charging station and there's 2, but one of them is charging and the other one has a non-EV parked in it. I was furious.
Yeah.
And, you get to this point and I'm trying to hurry. I want to get to the motel so that I can see the Oscars. I don't want to miss the opening number and the monologue. And so finally, this chick comes to her car and she's backing out. And I raised my arms up in the air and I said, it's for an EV. And so she just honked at me and gestured and left like it was my fault. But why are people so oblivious? I mean, some people do it maliciously. There are stories about pickup trucks that are parked in front of EV charging stations just to kind of, show you soy boy. But
I think they're just wrapped in their own little worlds. And it's like, I'm not driving an EV, so I don't even pay attention. What's that? A water hose there? Oh, maybe I'll rinse my car later. Like, they just don't even pay attention. And it's just, it's thoughtlessness. It's unfortunate because I see them everywhere. And it's easy to park somewhere else.
It is. But to make the story better, we found out that the spot she had vacated was not the right kind of charger for our car anyway. So my anger was misplaced, but sort of. So we go back around to where there was the corral of people waiting for the EV charger we did need. And there's a VW ID Buzz, and it's in orange and white, and it looks like a creamsicle on wheels. It looks like a toy car, Lisa.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? Down here in California, they're using the ad for the Californians the sketch that they used to do on SNL. And they've got Bill Hader, Fred Armisen, and Kristen Wiig going, "What are you doing here?" And they're on the beach in Malibu. Anyway,
Californians.
It's so perfect. So this guy gets out of his buzz, and I'm talking to him because you know me. I'll talk to everybody. It's like Rob says, I'm on a field day, but honestly, I'm just excited to talk to people. So I said to him, "Is that the VWID buzz?" Knowing full well it was. And he said, "Yeah." I said, "How do you like it?" And he goes, "Oh, I love it. I just got it a couple of days ago." And I said, "Can I look in the window?" And he said, "Well, you can come for a ride." And I'm inside going, squee. So I get in the car, and it's got that delicious new car smell. And it is cute as a button, got a huge display in the front and stuff. And okay, we backed up about 50 feet to get into his EV spot, but I got a ride in one.
And wait a minute, you're the woman who watches Dateline. What did you do? Did Rob have eyes on you the whole time, or what's the deal here?
No, he was just pulled ahead waiting for me to come and get in the car. And he's probably thinking, "Oh, what the heck is she doing now? She's finally leaving, but I thought she'd take the dogs." So I said to him, "Yeah, it's just like me to get in a car with a strange man." And he said, "Well, we are just backing up." But I found out that he and his wife are empty nesters, that he thinks it's silly that they got this van with the captain's seat in the second row, and that he paid for the whole package. And it was his gift to her for Valentine's. And I thought it was so sweet. And I said, "Hi, I'm Erin. I'm from British Columbia." And he said, "Yeah, I'm John. I live around here." Anyway, that was my little adventure in Salinas, California.
Oh, somewhere near Salinas, Lord. I let her
get away.
Oh, yeah. Me and Bobby
McGee. Right. But you know what? Gordon Lightfoot sings Salinas. If you listen to his version of Me and Bobby McGee, he sings "Somewhere Near Salinas, Lord. George. Different song. "Lord, I let her get away." And I went, "Gord, why? Why would you sing Salinas?" And speaking of great Canadians, how much do we love Mike Myers right now?
So much. Wearing his "Canada Isn't for Sale" shirt at the end of Saturday Night Live, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Guess what? We're not ranty this week. We don't have our ranty panties on, do we, Auntie?
No, I don't think so. Wait a minute. Unless you're upset about the end of Skype. Does that bother you at all?
I'll miss the boop, 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 boop. Remember that sound? I haven't used that platform in so long, but Skype is saying so long.
Yeah. No, I haven't used it either. But remember when it was everything? It was like, wait a minute. We can talk to somebody, including on video, for nothing? For nothing? It was a big deal when it came out.
It was the future. And I remember when I was a kid in the 1960s, hearing that one day I might be able to see my grandmother in Alberta on a video screen. Now I can do it with my dad in his home in Kelowna when one of my sisters goes with a device. But it really was the future, and now, as of May 5th, it's going to be the past.
They're going to merge people's information with Microsoft Teams, and that doesn't thrill me because I really don't like Microsoft Teams. I know a lot of companies use it.
I've never had a smooth experience with Microsoft Teams.
Yeah. It's never been good. And I cannot get it to stop starting up when I reboot my computer. And so it takes about 10 minutes to get rid of it. I've gone into settings. I've gone into everywhere. I think it's just some sort of sinister little plant that's in there. But do you use WhatsApp?
WhatsApp has never been my favorite thing, but there are a lot of people who swear by it. You like WhatsApp?
I like it for especially traveling and talking to people overseas. Like I have a client in England and we will meet on WhatsApp, or when we were in Italy, we used it a lot because it's, again, free and you can do video, you can do text or whatever. And it's hugely popular in Europe. Everybody's got it. And the kids use it. The old folks use it. Everybody's on WhatsApp, Erin. It's just the hep thing to do. But it's sort of replaced that kind of technology that Skype let itself age out out of, it didn't make any alliances with social media. It didn't do anything to keep itself relevant. And that seems to be what brought it down. Zoom came along and it's like, Skype? What's Skype?
Do you ever just have a cup of tea?
Yeah.
To settle down? I mean, you and I are total coffee freaks. I've had 2 today. One of them is half calf, so I'm okay. But tea is just such a nice, it's like a treat, isn't it?
Yeah, and I actually have started having one every afternoon. I find I really look forward to it. I have a decaf, though. I have to have a decaf.
Well, I have a surprising benefit to tea that I don't think even the most ardent teetotalers know. It's long been, of course, one of the most popular beverages in the world. It was currency, for heaven's sake, for a while. The most amazing thing they've found about it is that tea leaves leach metals out of water. And the longer you steep it, the more metals they pull out of your water. And we all like to think we're drinking pretty good water. But of course, there are going to be things that get through. It takes the metal out of the water and it's helping from a health benefit.
Wow. So when you remove the leaves or the bag or whatever, it's taking metal with it.
It's true.
Wow. That's amazing.
With one main exception, chamomile.
Huh.
That does not do the metal, which is too bad because for a lot of people, that kind of sleepy tea is their go-to, right?
Yeah.
So yay tea.
Yay tea.
I'll never give up my coffee in the morning. I mean, tea on an empty stomach makes me feel nauseous. In fact, that's how I outed myself as pregnant when I was working at CHFI, and I found out we were pregnant in the winter of 1990. So I started drinking tea in the morning. And I thought it was morning sickness, so I had to tell my coworker that I was pregnant, but it wasn't. It was the tea.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Never did have morning sickness. So, yeah, thanks, tea.
How did you escape that?
I don't know. I had just a breeze of a pregnancy. And that's why after Lauren was born, I said to my doctor, first visit, I said, I want to have another one.
Oh, wow.
And he said, pretty much, slow your roll. Give it some time. Yeah. And it was never in the cards anyway. But there's your good news about tea. We're always talking about coffee, so let's give it its own time. And it's great news.
Good stuff. And while we're in the pantry, although this should probably be in the fridge, have you ever heard of rinsing shredded cheese?
Did you say, maybe it's the internet connection, did you say rinsing shredded cheese?
Yes, I did. No, it's not just for breakfast anymore. No, rinsing shredded cheese. Yeah, that's what I said. You take your shredded cheese and you throw it in a colander and give it a good rinse. It's a TikTok thing, right? Which is how some of these things start, but then they go wide. So you told me a long time ago, and I didn't know this, that there's like an anti-caking agent put in the cheese to keep it from clumping together. And that's why there's sometimes some carbs in it. But that anti-caking, the cellulose or whatever they put in it, also keeps it from melting well. So if you want a really melty cheese from shredded cheese, pre-shredded, in a grilled cheese or something, you need to get that stuff off. So rinsing it has become the rage for making really melty, stringy, pulley cheese.
Well, that's fascinating. What a great idea.
Well, it is, except
you get wet cheese.
You not only get wet cheese, but you could have mold growth if you don't use it up pretty quickly because your cheese shouldn't have a bath. So I suppose it depends on how many cheese sandwiches you're making and whatever you want, but that would really help it get a little more gooey and melty. And Derek loves a grilled cheese sandwich, and I'm going to keep that in mind. Although I don't tend to buy pre-shredded cheese because it's so much more expensive, but sometimes.
Yeah, we have the time to grate the cheese, and the price, there can be a huge discrepancy, and everybody's looking at their groceries. I heard someone say that going grocery shopping now is like being in a library. Everybody is very quietly reading. Isn't that interesting?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. And I wish you would promise me something.
What?
If we ever write a book together about being queenagers, we will call it, We Have the Time to Shred the Cheese.
It used to be things like use the good dishes, but now it's like take the time to shred the cheese. Oh, that's deep. What does it mean? It literally means take the time to shred the cheese.
To shred the cheese. ...
It's great. Grate. Oh, God. Cheesy. That is so us. Well, it's me, but I see I've pulled you into my pantry. Well, since you are open-minded about things that are going to make your life better, I'm so happy to hear that you have joined the club and are now taking Sierra Sil. Are you doing the capsules or the spray or the dog treats? What are you taking?
Well, Derek says I'm a good girl, but I am taking the capsules. I'm only a few days in. Give it a little while, but I'm really excited about the potential for it because I know it's helped a lot of people.
Oh, it sure has. Rob's playing hockey 3 times a week with pretty severe arthritis in his knees and shoulders, and we accredit it to Sierra Sil. You will feel a difference within 14 days. Taking the capsules as directed, you got to take them on an empty stomach, Lisa, and make sure you drink lots and lots of water. If it says take 4, take them all at once, and don't think that you can just cut back and save money on it. It's really, really worth it for your health.
Yeah, you know what else it's doing? It's keeping me from a mid-afternoon snack because I have to stay away from food. So it's helping with that as well. And so far, so good. Yeah, I feel nothing as far as having something extra in my body. You know, sometimes you think, oh, do I want to take that? It'll make me feel weird. I feel nothing. Just waiting for the pain relief and we'll go from there.
Oh, good. I look forward to hearing about it. And you can find out more at SierraSil.com. Sierra, Sierra, Sil, SIL.com. And we've got a bonus for you.
Yes, we do. The code GF will get you 10% off your purchase.
While we're talking health things here, can I tell you one more thing? There are a lot of people who are saying, do I need my measles vaccine updated? Yeah, MSNBC brought up this visual, and I've shared it with a lot of people who are asking this because you and I fall right into the age category here where, guess what? It's time to roll up the sleeve. Measles vaccine guide from the CDC or whatever it is now. If you were born before 1957, you have natural immunity. But if you were born, as we were, between 1957 and 1989, consider a booster.
Wow.
So I don't know about you, sister, but I'm going to get a booster. I'm always lined up for whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, me too, because it's science. And science is real whether you believe it or not, right?
Yep.
I'll definitely get the booster. In fact, I went to my doctor, completely forgot about it, but I'll get in to see her again and get it done. Also, the other one, there's one for respiratory illness, RSV, and there's another one for pneumonia that I want to get because I've had pneumonia many times, but I have to wait till I'm 65, I think. There's a whole bunch of different things to get on. I mean, there was the first measles death of a kid in how many decades?
Right.
It's not a joke. That's very good advice.
Another thing that plagues you is a lack of sleep. Oh, Lisa. We've talked about gummies and stuff.
Yeah.
But guess what? I think I'm the only person on the planet that gummies don't help sleep.
Right. The gummies you had when we were in Palm Desert together were amazing for me. I took a quarter of one and slept like a baby. A baby that didn't wake up with a dirty diaper. And then I bought some when I came home, and of course, everything's different. It's not the same stuff, and it made my stomach upset and everything. It turns out they have maltitol in them instead of sugar.
No.
And me and maltitol are not friends. I don't know why this thing's on the market. I suppose a lot of people, it doesn't bother them, but it really bothers me. So I've got a whole pack of gummies, like a 40-pack, just sitting there. Yeah.
Maltitol, for the uninitiated, is a laxative for a lot of people. So more than that, we need not say, but you would have slept like a baby if you'd kept up with those. Geez. Wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sugar substitute. I mean, I say it's supposed to be because I just hate it with a deep, dark, seething hate. But it is a sugar substitute. But for some of us, it's the Alestra of the 2025s.
Oh, Alestra. When we thought we'd be able to eat potato chips with impunity. No. Oh, no. Well, here's something that really is sweet and natural, and that is Women Who Care. And you went to a Women Who Care meeting, and I love that. I did that in the Victoria area a few years ago.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's 100 Women Who Care, and you need to join for the year and pledge that you'll go to 4 meetings, at least you do here. And it's really neat because a couple of charities come and make presentations, and then you vote, and one of them gets $100 from everybody who attends. So they go with a sack full of money, and the other charity can come back, or, they've spread awareness. We hadn't heard of them. I just love it. And it just feels so powerful. You know what it's like? You give some money. Well, imagine if it's times 70.
Right.
Was that what it was like when you went?
Yes. Different charities are all there represented by someone who has a deep and abiding love for it or has been affected. And it can be anything from a homeless shelter to getting socks for people in need to abused women.
Animals.
Exactly. And then they draw out of a big basket who gets to speak. Not everybody there talks and tells their story. It's almost like a lottery. Oh, okay, you, Susan from the shelter, you're going to talk. And so imagine the nerves of people who've never gotten up on a stage and told the story. And one of them had you in full-on tears.
Yeah, it was chosen a little different, though, in the one I went to. They knew ahead of time it was decided. But yeah, she was amazing. She talked about not only being on the street, coming from an abusive home, but she became a prostitute to get money for drugs. And she didn't say it like she was trying to get us all emotional. Mm-hmm. And that made it even more emotional. Ah. And now she has her first apartment, and she has a job, and she has all these other things. And it's just such simple things that we take for granted that she never got, the love growing up and things like that. And it was amazing. It was just amazing.
100 Women Who Care. Google it, and you'll find one probably in your area. It's everywhere, and you can help out and feel really good at the same time. A couple of people we know, Women Who Care, Kathy and Kim from Envy Pillow. If you ever return your Envy Pillow, which is so unlikely, but if you do, they clean it and donate it to a women's shelter.
Yeah.
So they're walking the talk there, and it's part of the reason that we are so proud to be sponsored by Envy Pillow.
In fact, they told us not only do they walk the talk when it comes to being socially conscious, but environmentally conscious too, because when they were making the Envy Pillow, they could have gone with memory foam, but instead they wanted to make sure that everything was sustainable, didn't give off any vapors, didn't do all these other things. And yeah, it costs a little bit more, but they are 100% what they say they are. And they're just the nicest women, 2 former nurses, met playing hockey. We just love their ethics, and it totally lines up with how we look at things and how we try to behave, at least.
Exactly. And you can find out more about all their products and their mission statement at Envy Pillow, ENVY pillow.com, and use the code GF for 10% off.
We promised that we were going to tell the story of how we each separately in different times ruined sponsorships for our radio stations.
Well, let's do that because we have a great call to our gracefullyandfrankly.com website, and we're going to make you wait for that because this story is really worth it. And yeah, we alluded to it last week. You go first.
Okay, so I'm at a news talk station in London, and this was the last station on my tour of duty. This is one of the first indicators that maybe I should leave radio. Maybe I'm done. Maybe my attitude is falling a little bit. So you remember, as my friend, that there was a spa we went to. I'm not going to name it, and I didn't have a very good experience. The woman who gave me the pedicure was not nice. She was impatient, frustrated, and I had just gotten out of the hospital, and you took me to the spa.
Oh, right.
Remember?
Yes.
So it was your treat. You tipped and did all those wonderful things that you're supposed to do. Well, I'm on the air with Mike, who is my partner at the time, and he starts talking about this spa and how wonderful it is and how all the women in London love it and everything. And I flick on my mic and I think, okay, we're supposed to be honest and authentic. And I go, well, I didn't have a great experience there.
Ooh.
And he says, what are you talking about? And I said, well, there are other spas in the city. You don't just have to go to this one. You blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
And I said, I wouldn't go back. There are other places to go to. And he goes, oh, well, okay. Well, thanks for sharing, whatever. I get off the air and I'm surrounded by the sales manager, a salesperson, and some sort of vice president.
And a firing squad, it sounds like.
Yeah. And they informed me that the spa that I just insulted was about to do a huge contest on the station. And that's what Mike was trying to announce. They didn't bother telling me the other half of the morning show.
Oh.
Yeah, so now they're pulling their sponsorship and all of their ads, and they've been a regular advertiser. So I'll put this in a nutshell, but I ended up going with them to the spa to talk to the guy who owns it. He's a misogynist. He's a pig. He is just an unpleasant man. And he pulled out all these cards showing all the perfect ratings for the woman who had done my pedicure. And I said, I'm sorry, it just wasn't a good experience. And I said, but I never should have said anything on the air. I threw myself on his mercy. I apologized and said I was deeply sorry and it didn't reflect the radio station. I went rogue. And he said, well, look at the tip you gave. And I said, I didn't give a tip. My friend had treated me and she gave the tip because she's a kind and generous person. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, you gave a tip. Couldn't have been anything wrong.
Oh, geez.
And he never came back to the station. I ended up in tears by the end of it. And I said, guys, I'm so sorry I tried. And they just said, it's okay.
Well, because of the misogyny, they had the morning man, which is a term I hate, announce the promotion. Why wouldn't they hand it to you or at least run it by you?
I know. Oh. That's how it went. And, open mouth, insert foot, goodbye, thousands of dollars.
And it wasn't even a beautifully pedicured foot. Oh, darn.
Tell me yours.
Well, this was on Toronto's #1 radio station, or so they said. On CHFI, Rob and I were driving a Mini. Someone from the motor section of, I think, the Saturday Star interviews me, and they did this whole story about me and the Mini and took pictures from above of me sitting on the Mini. It was cute as a bug. It was red and it had a Union Jack on the top, and it was the first issue of Minis in North America. So this was in the early 2000s. I loved that car. As you can tell, I'm a sucker for a toy car, right?
Yes.
Going back to the ID Buzz. So I said, you know what? We used to be such a Chrysler family. I grew up. Dad had an Imperial. We had Chryslers, my husband and I. But at the third year, everything went. The air conditioning, this, that, and the other thing. So we're just shopping around and we love our Mini. Oh, well. Yeah, I remember Victor Dan, our sales manager, and he was seething, but he did it very nicely. And I had no freaking idea, Lisa. I didn't think anything I said ever mattered to anybody because that's kind of the headspace they keep you in to remember that you're not important.
Right.
And I didn't realize anybody was going to be upset. And what he said was, if you like Starbucks, you don't have to diss Tim Hortons.
Right.
And I went, oh, I am so sorry, so sorry. So I didn't have to do an apology tour or go to a Chrysler dealership and get backed up over or anything like that. But I was mortified, and I don't even know if it affected a buy at the station, but
yeah.
We more than made up for it with the millions we brought into the station.
Right.
But that time, I should have known better, but nobody ever told me the rules, Lisa, because I wasn't the morning man.
Well, that's part of it, right? And the other thing is somebody's asking you from an auto section about cars, and you have an opinion. And this is not it's not something that, like, you don't work on cars on the weekend or anything. So,
no.
Probably done the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone who has been on the air has had that moment or made that mistake. For some of them, it might have been fatal to their job at that station. And I guess we were both lucky that they didn't use it as an excuse to give us both the hook. But live and learn, eh, Lisa?
That's for sure. Hey, we learned something this week, and that is that stuff we say on this podcast happens in real life later, right?
Yes, we have the power not only to predict the future, but to make it happen, to manifest it as someone is listening. Remember last week, we were talking about falls? Well, listen to this. We have a caller who wishes we hadn't mentioned it. So let's listen to that call. Diane, she's in your neck of the woods, southwestern Ontario. And yeah, we manifested something for her. So let's listen to what happened to Diane, okay?
Okay.
It's Diane from Sarnia. I was out yesterday walking my dog and listening to your podcast, because that's how I always listen while I'm out walking. And I'm now commiserating with Lisa with her fall, because yesterday it was very windy around Sarnia and especially windy around my building. I was coming back into the building, stepped onto the sidewalk, and it was as if somebody stood there and pushed me to the ground.
Ooh.
The wind just threw me back. I hit my head.
Uh-oh.
My headset went flying, and my left hand hit the asphalt. It's sore, but I don't think it's broken because I can rotate it and all that, and I've been icing it. Yeah, I was just thinking how funny it was that I was listening to Lisa talking about her fall, and I get pushed over by wind, like, oh my God. That is pretty wicked. As always, I enjoy all your podcasts, and have a great day. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Diane, for going to gracefullyandfrankly.com and leaving your voicemail. It was great. We appreciate it. We appreciate you.
Well, that's not the kind of thing that I would like to have people experience when we talk about it. So let's try something more positive.
Okay. Isn't it wonderful, Lisa, how you and I both won $10 million in the lottery last week?
Yes. Manifesting.
That's right. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Diane. And do visit the website, gracefullyandfrankly.com. It's so easy to send us a voice message or an email or poke around or ask questions, whatever you like.
Yeah, we're so grateful to you and to everybody who leaves us a voicemail or a comment on our Facebook page as well. So anyhow, I feel like I've won the lottery. We've had internet here in our little motel room, and we're going to hit the road. And next week, my darling, I will be, God willing, home. Yay!
Yeah, home with all your peeps, and, well, you got them with you on the road now, but still, there's nothing like home. Safe travels, my friend.
Have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for being here all along the way. Lisa and I have been texting every day, and it feels like she's sitting in the car with us, but doesn't stop for peas, so it's great.
Diapers really help.
Bye for now, Fred.
Bye.
That sounded like Fred, didn't it?
Okay, Barney.